Nils and I obviously could have just taken a bunch of funny stories and strung them together with a really tenuous bullshit plot line like Family Guy, but we actually no, don't get me wrong, I love Family Guy, but we wanted to make a movie. We wanted to make a movie that had a real plot and a real story, a real conflict, and the characters actually changed and grew, but in a realistic way. I mean, the movie covers like a 10-day period, so the people aren't gonna change their whole fucking lives. I mean, that's why at the end, Tucker's like, you know, yeah, I changed, but it's kind of not really. You know, I learned the lesson, but I still paid the bitch off, you know? And so we wanted to make a movie that was a full movie, and that you didn't have to have read the book, and didn't have to know who I was, and didn't have to buy into any of that shit to really still love the movie. And so that's kind of why that story fit the best into that rubric.
I don't know if that character does justice for you. I mean, do you feel that the main character portrays you as you are?
Most of the time, he was a better me than me, and he was a lot more likable version of me, and a lot more redeemable. Like, dude, when I'm drunk up here riffing, it's one thing, but you hang out with me, I promise you're probably not gonna like me. You're kind of a fucking dick. And especially because you're not a hot girl, like I'm gonna be a fucking asshole to you. So, but Matt is like the nicest guy ever, and I feel like he brings a richness and a depth to the character that kind of doesn't exist in real life.
When did you realize that you made it and like everyone knew who you are?
Well, one definitely is Columbus, dude. When I did a speech at Ohio State a couple months ago, and there were like 100 protesters that showed up. And they were so fucking crazy. They were chanting outside for, I mean, it was like 900 people who came to hear me speak, which I don't know why, but they did. But there were like 100 people who came outside and were chanting, whatever, like, you know, send the rapist out of town or whatever stupid bullshit. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like this is rock star level shit. Like who comes and protests a speaker at a college? I think the other time was when Tony Hawk actually sent me an email, and he's like, dude, I just read your book on my tour, and it was the funniest shit I ever read, and it, like, I loved it, and we need to hang out. And I was like, dude, Tony Hawk is a real celebrity. like that's not a joke. Like, he's like big time. So I think probably one of those two things. Dude, she looks frightened, does. You're not supposed to attack girls.
She was talking like a black girl in a movie theater, so I figured she had something to say.
You know I love my Heineken.
I think on that note, let's talk to a black guy.
That girl is so awesome.
When you go out, do you just go out trying to have a good time, or are you always trying to look for more material?
If you try to create a funny situation, you fuck it up, always. It's sort of like, you know, like if you're with a girl and you're like desperate to fuck her, she like can smell that on you. It's like, I don't want to fuck you. But if you're just relaxed and cool, then it's like you can't, you know, fight her off. Same thing with life, man. You just gotta let go and be yourself and be cool, and then once every now and then something really funny and crazy happens. I mean, dude, my book is like the highlights of 10 years of partying. It's not like it's just a week, you know, like all this shit just happens every day. It's like those people come up to me, they're like, I don't understand, why aren't you drunk, you know, laying on our table screaming curses at people? I'm like, dude, it's 10 a.m. on a Thursday, man. You know? I mean, just go out and be yourself and have fun, and stuff happens on its own.
Between the book release and the movie release, it seems that you have a bit more humility in the movie. Was that just because like you need a moral at the end, or is it that you might have progressed along as a human being?
When you make any sort of art, right? So it's not just me. Anyone who's written anything or made a painting or a movie or anything, you put it out there. It's humbling in a way, just because to expose your soul to the world to judge is not an easy thing. And no matter how arrogant or awesome you think you are, at some point, you kind of realize, okay, I may be that awesome, but I'm never as awesome as I thought I was, at least for me.
Not just exposing your soul, exposing your bad decisions.
Oh yeah.
And that's really something.
No, because yeah, it's true. Because I always write the good and the bad. Like, I mean, all the bad, stupid shit I do, I write that right along with the good. So many people are so talented and so have so much ability and everything, and they are afraid. They're afraid of risking, and they're afraid of trying, and I'm not afraid, man, because I don't care. I mean, it's like, I know my shit is good, and I know lots of people like it, and I know there are gonna be people who hate it. Fuck them, man. I don't give a fuck. I mean, look at, I packed an audience, I packed audiences all over the country. I've sold 1 million books. This movie's gonna be a huge hit. I know my shit's good, so it's like, I don't give a fuck, dude. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Fuck you.
I want to know, what are your future plans? Because there has to be
For books or movies?
for your life. Like, you can't do this forever.
The best thing you can do is maximize the time you have in front of you and not worry about what happens in 10 or 20 years because you have very, very little control over that. And none of us, including me, are smart enough to predict what's going to happen to us that far in the future. So love the life you have and live the life you have and then deal with the life you're going to have later when it happens. Thank you very much for coming
Thanks so
out.
much,
I honestly
guys.
appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it.